Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how can you build a complete mobile app without writing a single line of code. And it's going to be super simple. For this we are going to use Rork, which completely allows you to build completely cross-platform apps. That means you can use apps in Android and iOS both by just creating it here. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to create a very simple book tracking app and I'm going to give this prompt to this, which technically tells it what kind of app I want to build. I've also attached some screenshots for the app and I'll show them to you in a second, but very simply it's a book tracking app which allows you to add books and track them on when you are reading it. So with that, let's let it run, and after you press enter, it starts technically creating a project and actually building the app as we need. As you can see, it's planning right now here. So when you input your prompt, it roughly takes around 2 to 5 minutes for the first app to be seen, because it starts by planning and doing all the steps that are needed to actually build the mobile app. And by the time it is doing that, let me show you the input that I give it. So this is the kind of again, why this is the kind of you're looking for. So you can see it looks pretty cool. There is a library, there is a reading place where you can see what options are there. You can also see that it has kind of a scroll effect. Let's see what the app actually ends up being. And you also have an option to share your books and tell others about the same. So let's see. Awesome. So as you guys can see, this has actually created the app pretty well. You have the home screen which has again both the options, both the books that we are currently reading, with even again how much of it is read and how many pages are left. You have the option to see the library, what are you reading, what is to be read, and all the options. It created the library pretty well, and also the option to search and add different books. You have this to add different books and see the stats across everything that we wanted. Now if you can see, it created pretty close to what our input was, and it's the colors also match very well. Maybe again, even we can ask it to change the colors, but the one thing that you see is there's some error that's coming in here, and I can just simply ask it to try to fix all and then send it, and it will automatically start fixing that particular error, needing to do anything else. And that's one of the best parts about Rork, that it really allows you to not look at or worry about the code and just really create the app automatically. As you can see, it did not find any errors, but also again checked across that there is no particular error. Now the one thing that you have here is you actually have access to all the code here, and you can switch that from the code option. You also have access to analytics. In case you want to publish the app, you can publish that, and you can see how many users are actually using it. So let's come back to the app, and the one thing that you can do is switch between iOS. So you can see it will load up the option on how this app will look on iOS, and also show you on how this app will look on Android. It will take a couple of seconds to load, but you can see that. So as you can see, this is how your app will look on an iOS, and you can see you get the dynamic island. You can see that the difference is there, and in case you want to make some changes to that specifically, you can. So again, the app looks pretty good again here. Now let's say we want to add a small feature. Let's say we want to change the option to allow it to have a dark mode. How the app creates a dark mode also for the app, which the user change from the app all the colors accordingly. Now this is a very cool feature, and most of the apps now always come with two options for a dark mode. So you can see that we have an app here that we can do that. So let's say we want to add a book, you can either scan the XBN, or you can even take something from the shelf. Now as you can see, till that is happening, there are something that you need to still again we can still need to ask it to build. So for example, if I click on add, it does not add it to my shelf or something like that. I should get an option here to add it to my shelf or something like that, or add it to my library, and that needs to exist because right now it just shows, it does not show up anywhere as an app. You can go ahead and update this, or again change this, mark it finished or something like that. So the app is pretty well built, and I can also test it on my phone. The way to do that is, you can see on the right hand side, it automatically shows an option where it says Expo Go, which is an app that you can download. And once you download the app, it actually starts showing up everything on your phone also. Now as you can see how the apps actually look in the mobile phone, right? Again, and this is, I'm on my mobile, and as you can see again it has done a pretty good job to fix it all. You have the scroll options, you have the different books, log reading session, and again edit the progress or something. As you can see, there's a couple of things that are not working. For example, I'm clicking on the edit button, it's not working, and you can ask Rork to fix these things as and when they happen. Now very simply, another option that we have here, as I asked it to do, is to change the theme, and it's done a pretty good job. You can see the base theme is not changed, so everything else is changed, but the menu buttons here are still again white. So again, that's fine, but you have an actual Android app which is working on your phone, and it took us less than 5 to 10 minutes to build, and this is crazy. A couple more features that you can actually do at Rork is, first, you can connect it with GitHub. You can also connect it with the Revenue Cat, which is a service which allows you to take payments using which allows you to collect payments for your app. So you can create paid apps and people can download that. You also have option to download the whole code, so you can connect it to GitHub or also download the whole code in a separate place and edit it using cursor or something, or any other IDE that you prefer. You also have the option to like clone this project and start in a new chart. So let's say you have some, or you have a UI but you want to change the app on how it works and everything else, you can also do that here. So again, a ton of options. One of the best things is also this app gets converted into a web app style option where you can see how it looks, and you can also see how many users actually are there and working on the time. When you click on this option, get users, this app technically gets published, and you can publish this app with anyone and also utilize it to publish on Google Play and the App Store, so for people can use. Now, before I tell you how to actually publish the app on the Play Store, I'm going to quickly tell you about a community where you can actually learn how to build full-blown AI systems and applications to either sell them as an AI automation agency owner or also grow in your career and land an amazing job in AI. If you're interested, go ahead and check it out. The link is available in the description. Now, coming back to publishing it, they have a complete application guide here which you can use. They have different prerequisites on what you need to do. Again, I believe this is still a bit more technical, where you need to spend a bit more time on actually creating the workflow, where you actually need to spend some time to actually create the final workflow which can submit the app and actually then go through the setup process. So if you're interested to know about how to actually get an app published, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be creating a complete video where we take an app and actually publish it onto the App Store. With that, we actually created a complete app using literally writing a single line of code and just prompting AI to get it thus. And this is crazy. And if you're interested to keep learning more, please hit that subscribe button and like the video. It helps you out a lot, and I would love to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.